It's like I don't care about nothing, man. Yeah. Oh,
So this video is going to go over side, angle, side. So this one you're going to have an angle in there as well instead of just doing all sides. Now I do want to apologize. Last video I noticed that the audio was a little messed up, so hopefully I fixed it. Okay, so we are looking at page 1. You might be going, well, Coach Carr, didn't we already do page 1? Well, we did some of it, but not all of it. Now, we're talking about side, angle, side now. So, side, angle, side could look something like this. So this side and this side can go together. Let's say this angle and this angle, and this side and this side. You'll notice that the angle is going to be in between the sides. If you are going to use side, angle, side, that angle does need to be in between the two sides. So now we get to look at page 4. Now you'll notice on the top of the page, I've already filled it in because it's the same thing that we had on all the other pages. We are allowed to assume vertical angles and reflexive sides when we see it. So now we'll get to the side, angle, side. So you have to have two sides that are congruent and an angle that's congruent. So what we are going to say, so the first side that we can say is AB. It has one dash, so we'll go with the other one that has one dash. So it's going to be congruent to DE. Now you notice the angles that they're talking about is B and E. So I'm going to say angle ABC. Notice I'm not just saying angle B is congruent to angle E. I'm actually writing out the angle with the 3 letters. That is something that you should get into the habit of doing too. And remember that the middle letter is the most important. I like to call it Malcolm for Malcolm in the middle. You get it? Get it? That's a good joke. Look it up.
no.
Now, the last side is BC because it has 2 dashes, and the other one that has 2 dashes is EF. So now we know, because we have a side, angle, side, that we can do a triangle congruence of ABC. Sure, it is easy as 1, 2, 3, but really it's congruent to triangle DEF by side, angle, side. So this one has a little bit of sass.
Boo! You stink!
All right, home skillets, we are now looking at a proof on SAS. Now it says that we are given that AB is congruent to CD. You'll notice we already have the givens put down. So the first given was AB is congruent to CD. So another thing I told you in the last video is mark the picture. So AB goes with CD. I was told that. The other thing I was given is that AB is supposed to be parallel to CD. So I'm also going to just extend these lines. The only reason I do that is for me to see that those lines are the parallel lines. So I like to kind of exaggerate that. And then you'll notice that the last thing given to us is D is the midpoint of BE. So this has my trigger word, I am triggered, I saw the word midpoint. I know for a fact that later on, because I use midpoint, or they said midpoint in the given, that one of my answers is going to have to be a definition of midpoint. So we'll see that for sure later on. So number 4 gave us a statement. It said angle ABD is congruent to angle CDE. So ABD is right here, and CDE is right here. So they're both underneath the parallel lines and on the same side of this transversal. So that would be corresponding angles. Corresponding. Forgot how to spell there for a second.
What an idiot.
So anytime you see that something's parallel, you're going to end up doing an angle relationship. So anytime that you see something's parallel, you're going to use an angle relationship. So earlier, I even highlighted it. When we say the word midpoint, one of my answers has to be definition of midpoint in the reason column. I have one thing left in the reason column, and I haven't used it yet. So I'm going to put in definition of midpoint. Again, anytime I use the word midpoint, one of my answers has to be definition of midpoint. So let's figure out which one had the midpoint. We were told D is the midpoint of BE. So BE is the full length. So if this is in the middle, this side and this side got cut in half. So they are congruent on each side. So what I'm going to write here is BD is congruent to DE. So based on the picture, we have a side, an angle, and a side. So that's why we have this reason here. Now, the last statement is always, whatever we're trying to prove. So we are going to be saying triangle ABD is congruent to triangle CDE. So anytime you have to fill in the last statement, it's going to be whatever you're trying to prove. So that's the end of this video. Now, hopefully you know that if you're doing side, the angle has to be sandwiched in between the two sides. So the practice I would want you to do, it would be on page 5, 6, and 7. They all deal with the side, angle, side, and it's just good practice to be prepared for the test.